My name is Elena, and I am 35 years of age. For almost 10 years, I have shared my life in marriage with Daniel. Our marriage has stood the test of time, yet lately, an unsettling distance seems to have emerged between us. The routine had woven itself into the fabric of our relationship, and I felt an urge to venture into uncharted territories to rekindle the spark that once bound us together. In the midst of a dialogue with my younger sister, I stumbled upon a profound realization. At 30, Isabel had always radiated a remarkable extroversion and confidence that set her apart from me. Her approach to life, brimming with freedom, captivated my thoughts, leading me to ponder the possibility of inviting a third person into our dynamic. What if we involve someone close to us whom we trust deeply? The notion both terrified and captivated me. I found myself pondering how Daniel and Isabel would react if I were to offer them something so unforeseen. I shook my head, trying to cast aside that notion, yet curiosity had firmly planted itself in my thoughts. During dinner that evening, I decided to broach the subject with Daniel. In a nuanced way, I found myself unsure of his response, yet grasping his viewpoint held significant importance for me. In the spirit of connection, I started to strive for a more buoyant atmosphere. What do you think about couples who embark on new adventures together in their relationship? Explore methods to integrate another person into the scenario. Daniel cast a fleeting look at his plate, momentarily startled by my inquiry. Are you referring to a group of 3? He inquired, his eyebrows arching in curiosity. Indeed, that is correct. I replied in a manner that echoed those sentiments, a twinge of anxiety threading through my words. It's just a fleeting idea, not one to dwell on too heavily. I'm curious if such a thing might help us escape the monotony. He seemed to pause in reflection before offering his reply. The outcome truly depends on the specific circumstances at play. Is there a particular someone occupying your thoughts? My heart quickened. I felt compelled to express my thoughts. I find myself uncertain. It might be worthwhile to contemplate an individual in whom we have trust, like Lena. Daniel blinked in astonishment, his lips sealed in quietude. His response left me in a state of contemplation. In the days that followed, the concept lingered in our conversations. Daniel seemed lost in thought, yet we had not returned to the subject. He asked if I had made a mistake by mentioning it. As the evening unfolded and the glow of the television flickered in the dim light, Daniel broke the silence with his voice. Was Lena on board then? Do you have an interest in exploring this further? He asked with a weighty seriousness. His question took me by surprise, but it also ignited a spark of bravery within me. Indeed, but only if you find comfort in the notion as well. I honor your decisions and have no desire to impose anything upon you. I chose to hold my tongue. He exhaled slowly. While I could ponder the matter, it is essential for me to grasp Lena's viewpoint beforehand. Daniel's willingness to entertain the possibility inspired me to take the next step. I engaged in a dialogue with my sister. He invited Lena to share a cup of coffee with him. Our connection had always been profound, yet delving into such intimate matters stirred a sense of discomfort within me. Though I recognized her non-judgmental nature, a lingering sense of nervousness still enveloped me. Lena, there's a matter weighing on my thoughts that I wish to share with you. I started my quest for the right words, taking care to strike a balance that avoided sounding too grave or uncomfortable. She looked at me, a mixture of astonishment and delight dancing in her eyes. Are you proposing that I join you and Daniel in this new adventure? She asked, trying to hold back a grin. That makes sense, yet it's crucial to reflect on your own comfort regarding the notion. I replied, a hint of shyness creeping into my voice. To my astonishment, Lena let out a laugh and remarked, Elena, I never anticipated you would propose something like this, but I must admit the idea is beginning to resonate with me. We devoted time to contemplating the trajectory of the situation. It became essential to establish clear guidelines to ensure that everyone feels secure and comfortable. I conveyed to Lena my hope that this situation does not affect the bond we share as sisters. She conveyed her dedication to respecting all boundaries and underscored her intention to refrain from any actions that could adversely affect Daniel or myself. That evening, I engaged in a conversation with Daniel about my earlier exchange with Lena. A wave of relief washed over me at his openness, yet I could discern the flicker of nervousness within him. As the day drew near, a mixture of anticipation and anxiety washed over me, overshadowing my initial excitement. A cascade of emotions began to wash over me. A thrill of anticipation coursed through me at the prospect of breaking free from my everyday routine and embarking on new adventures alongside Daniel. On the other hand, I discovered that my fears had engulfed me. What transformations could unfold if Daniel began to see Lena through a different lens? What if she started to feel more profound emotions for him? Could I truly handle what was on the verge of happening? Lena seemed poised, as she always did. A few days ago, she reached out to ensure that everything was in order, and to verify that I was still making strides with the concept. Elena offered her comforting words, assuring me that all would be well. She proposed we pause for a moment to soak in our surroundings, yet her voice carried the familiar weight of her concern. Daniel seemed to be filled with a palpable sense of anxiety. Despite my efforts to hide it, I could sense his awareness, a quiet concern for my emotions lingering in the air between us. One evening, as we settled in for the night, I decided to broach the subject. Can you appreciate the worth of this viewpoint? I encourage you to think about doing it for your own sake too. Indeed, I engaged in conversation with him, taking note of his expression amidst the shadows of the dim light. He clasped my hand gently, his touch barely there. Elena, I am eager to move forward, as I have faith in your abilities, but it is equally crucial that you feel assured in this decision. This will prove to be effective if we both find comfort in it. Her response offered a fleeting sense of solace. Yet, the discomfort in my stomach lingered, a clear indication that I was nearing a threshold I had never dared to consider. In the end, we determined that the best way to address the situation would be to transform it into a significant evening. Isabel suggested that we hold dinner at our home to create a welcoming atmosphere and promote connection. It seemed a sound choice, prompting us to commence our endeavors. The afternoon was devoted to the meticulous organization of the house. I arranged the space with fragrant candles and gentle melodies, making certain that all was in perfect harmony. This promises to be a captivating experience, as you will soon observe. Isabel confided her reflections to me. The evening commenced with a serene ambience. We engaged in conversations about the ordinary aspects of life. We engaged in a conversation about our professional lives, contemplated our aspirations for the future, and reminisced about cherished moments from our youth. All seemed ordinary with Isabel, yet an undercurrent of tension lingered just beneath the surface. With every glance exchanged, I felt the weight of the impending moment between us. Isabel, true to herself, sparked a dialogue with an unexpected comment. It appears that we are all aware of the reason for our assembly. Should we not recognize that this dinner carries a weight of meaning that we may be overlooking? Her candor infused the atmosphere with a refreshing buoyancy, alleviating the strain for both Daniel and myself. As the evening unfolded, the wine eased the tension, allowing everyone to relax and enjoy the moment. Isabel began to interact with Daniel in a playful way that I had encouraged. Elena, your husband possesses a remarkable fondness for wine. He seems to possess a deep appreciation for a multitude of things. She cast Daniel a knowing glance. Though her words flowed with an air of nonchalance, I felt my heartbeat quicken in response. I felt conflicted observing the connection growing between Daniel and someone so close to me, a person I hold in profound trust. Following our meal, we moved to the living room. The muted glow of the lights, the gentle strains of music, and the tranquil ambience created a perfect backdrop for the events that were soon to transpire. Isabel settled into a chair next to Daniel while I stood before them, quietly watching. Elena, do you possess a sense of assurance regarding this choice? Isabel addressed me with a gravity I had never experienced from her prior. I nodded, yet a storm of conflicting emotions brewed within me. Indeed, I stand firm in my choice, I replied, striving to calm my racing thoughts. Daniel cast a fleeting look my way, searching for a hint of reassurance in my demeanor. I aimed to ascertain that he felt no pressure, while also seeking to grasp his level of willingness. Finally, I found my voice. I think it's time to let things unfold as they will, I remarked, taking a sip of my wine and extending the glass to him, hoping to calm my own jitters. Isabel drew near to Daniel, her hand resting softly on his shoulder, a tender expression of solidarity. The gesture, though unassuming, carried a profound significance. Daniel remained nearby, and I found myself navigating a tumultuous sea of emotions that eluded my understanding. In mere moments, the atmosphere in the living room transformed dramatically. The gentle flicker of the candles cast delicate shadows upon the walls, while the music, now barely perceptible, seemed to stand as the lone witness to the unfolding moment. Isabel sat beside Daniel, radiating a tranquil confidence. A mixture of nervousness, curiosity, and a deep longing washed over me as I stood before them. Isabel adjusted her posture with a subtle grace and, embodying her characteristic ease, began to weave words into the quiet space around her. "Daniel, are you ready for this?" I engage with every endeavor wholeheartedly. His voice held a subtle challenge, intertwined with a reassuring tone, as if he sought to confirm that we were all in sync with one another's understanding. Daniel cast a fleeting look in my direction, searching for one last sign of encouragement. For an instant our eyes locked, and I felt a stillness envelop the passage of time. In the face of uncertainty, I recognized that retreating was simply not an option. I gave a slight nod, and he seemed to relax somewhat. Isabel leaned toward Daniel, sharing a moment of silent understanding that made me pause, resonating with a sense of affirmation rather than mere expression. I meticulously recorded every detail, striving to comprehend the emotions that were blossoming within me. While jealousy didn't quite grip me, an unsettling sensation washed over me as I observed my sister and my husband in such close proximity. Yet an unusual intrigue gripped me, anchoring me in place and stifling any impulse to act. Daniel accepted the kiss. Daniel, though reserved, was unmistakably aware of my presence and the delicacy of the moment. Isabel, however, navigated the situation with an impressive grace. "Elena, I wish for us to immerse ourselves in this experience side by side, rather than you feeling like a mere spectator." Her words illuminated the truth that my insecurity was a barrier to my progress. I inhaled deeply, drew closer, and settled into the seat opposite Daniel. He, with a palpable sense of relief, grasped my hand, perhaps seeking to anchor himself in the comfort of my presence beside him. Isabel cast a glance my way, her nod imbued with a sense of reassurance, a silent reminder of the bond we shared in our understanding. "Daniel, this presents a chance for us to evolve side by side. Elena, I implore you to trust me." Despite the comfort his words provided, he understood that the moment had arrived at a pivotal crossroads. That evening tested the boundaries of our emotional vulnerability and our trust in one another, where each gesture signified a bold step into the unknown. Daniel exhibited a keen awareness, making certain that I was comfortable during our shared moments. Isabel, on the other hand, faced the situation with a distinctive confidence that set her apart. As the night deepened, the barriers we had constructed over the years began to falter. Isabel and Daniel shared a surprising emotional ease that I hadn't foreseen, unveiling dimensions of our dynamic that I had not anticipated, which I had not foreseen. Although I recognized this was part of the agreement, a wave of discomfort washed over me as I observed how my sister managed to elicit a more playful aspect of Daniel, one that had long been dormant. Yet, each time I felt the atmosphere changing, Isabel would cast a glance my way, as though seeking reassurance of my existence in that very instant. "Elena, keep in mind that this is for the benefit of all three of us." Isabel cast a glance my way, her nod imbued with a sense of reassurance, a silent reminder of the bond we shared. Her gesture offered a sense of comfort, yet it simultaneously underscored the intricacies of the path I was traversing. Daniel, however, discovered himself ensnared in the midst of us. Every move he made seemed to mirror his emotions for me, while simultaneously revealing a path of exploration with Isabel. There were moments when I felt a profound sense of security and connection with both, yet at other times, I sensed that I had cracked open a door that could linger ajar for an eternity. As the night came to an end, a profound quiet settled over the house. As Isabel succumbed to slumber in the guest room, Daniel and I made our way to our own sanctuary. We refrained from conversation, each lost in the labyrinth of our own thoughts. The following morning, while preparing my coffee, I realized it was time to contemplate the events that had transpired. Daniel stepped into the kitchen soon after, his demeanor a blend of tranquility and deep thought. "How do you perceive your present circumstances?" I broke the silence, my voice cutting through the stillness of the moment. He let out a breath and cast a look my way. "I find myself struggling to express it clearly. It was unlike anything else. Yet what holds significance is the depth of your emotional journey, Elena. I trust this won't change the nature of our relationship." His words offered a sense of comfort, yet they also urged me to recognize that, although all seemed well, A transformation had quietly taken place within me. We had arrived at a pivotal moment, and though I held no regrets, I recognized that our relationship would inevitably evolve from here on out. Isabel soon joined our ranks, infusing the atmosphere with her signature vibrancy and playful spirit. He conveyed his gratitude for the night before as he savored his coffee. It sparked deep contemplation. Daniel and I exchanged a fleeting look. To Isabel, it seemed that each moment was merely a chance for us to evolve and expand our understanding. The experience was undeniably more profound. In the days that ensued, Daniel and I engaged in conversations about the events that had transpired. We both understood that the experience was unique, yet we also conceded that it was not something we desired to encounter again. Although everything was in order, we acknowledged that the emotional complexities of the situation were better left untouched as we moved ahead. Isabel seemed to have transitioned with remarkable speed. She continued to be my vibrant and delightful sister, and our connection remained unchanged. That held great significance for me. With the passage of time, I began to perceive that night as a distinct chapter in our shared journey, an odyssey that deepened our comprehension of each other. Yet, I came to understand that certain fantasies are most cherished in their purest essence. Visions? The tale has reached its end. If you find yourself intrigued by tales woven with secrets and deception, don't hesitate to click on one of the videos showcased on the screen. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for your daily dose of fresh narratives.